Children, welcome back to our social video session. I hope everyone are fine and safe at home. Children, we are going to start Unit 1 in Social Science today. Children, we are going to learn the name of this unit and what we are going to learn in this lesson. The name of the unit is Kingdoms of River. Children, let's get into this lesson. Children, we live in house and we are preparing our food by our own. But in the ancient period, people used to search for the food from one place to another. They are called as wanderers because they are in search of food and place. Later on, they settled in the places along the river banks. Children, now we are going to learn in this lesson about the Tamil kingdoms of Sangam age, that is Tamil kings, that is Cheras, Cholas and Pandyas, and their administrative, social and economic conditions during their Sangam age period. And we are going to know about the Kurunila Mannargal. This is the learning objectives to know about Tamil kingdoms of Sangam age, to know about Chera, Chola and Pandyas, and to understand their administrative, economic and social conditions, and to know about their Kurunila Mannargal. The owner of a scepter without bend is the Chera king. Here, scepter means is a stick that is without bend. The stick is belong to the Chera king. The wealth of rice bowl of Tanjavur is the Chola king. The pearl of breathtaking Muttamil is the Pandya king. The chariot of cave temples is the Pallava king. You are the gold of Tamil Nadu and lines of Tamil soil. Here, Chera, Chola, Pandya, as well as the Pallava. They are the gold of Tamil Nadu and the lines of Tamil soil. Now, let us learn about the introduction of these kingdoms of river. Dear children, in the ancient period, people settled and started living along the river banks. See, before itself, I have told you, no, they settled and started living along the river banks. They produced agriculture crops. They reared cattle in the pasture lands. In this way, the kingdoms of early Chera, Chola, Pandya and other kingdoms emerged along the rivers. See down, they have given the kingdoms and their river banks. See, Chera's river banks is Poigai and Chola's river bank is Kaveri and then Pandya's river bank is Vaigai. So, people live along the river banks so they could easily rear cattle in the pasture lands and they can easily get the agriculture crops for eating. In this way only Chera, Chola and Pandya and other kingdoms emerged along the rivers. Children who live along the river banks. People in the ancient period. People in the ancient period, they are in need of food and shelter. So they lived along the river banks. Children, there are 4 kingdoms. How many kingdoms? four kingdoms. What are they? That is Chera kingdom, Chola's kingdom, Pandya's kingdom, and then Pallava's kingdom. These are the four kingdoms. But now we are going to see the Chera's kingdom. Chera's kingdom. Their country where they ruled, and then their capital city. What we are going to see? We are going to see the Chera's country, capital city, and where they are ruled. Children, see the kingdoms and rivers again. Cheras lived along the river bank Poigai. Cholas lived along the river bank Kaveri. Chera were the forerunners of the Movendargal who ruled along the banks of river Poigai, and their capital city was Vanchi. So, Chera were called as forerunners of the Movendargal, and they ruled along the banks of the river Poigai. Their capital city was Vanchi. Then the Chera country comprised of the present western district of Erode, Tirupur, Coimbatore, and Nilgiris. The Chera country comprised of the present western districts of Erode, Tirupur, Coimbatore, and Nilgiris. Kerala was also a part of it. The Chera country was called Chera Nadu. Children, Chera country was called as Chera Nadu. So, the places Erode, Tirupur, Coimbatore, and Nilgiris. These are all the Chera country. The major part of Chera Nadu was surrounded by high mountains. High mountains. The greatest rulers among the kings of Chera Nadu was Imayavarambhan. The greatest ruler king of the Chera Nadu was Imayavarambhan, and Nedunjeralathan and his son Senguttuvan. Okay, their son is Senguttuvan. They are called as Movendargal. Who are called as Movendargal? Imayavarambhan, Nedunjeralathan, and his son, together called as Movendargal. So, mainly we want to learn in this Cheras is Movendargal, that is the forerunners are Movendargal. Their river bank is Poigai, and the capital city is Vanchi. The Chera's country, that is Erode, Tirupur, Coimbatore, and Nilgiris, that is the western districts. That is the western district of Erode, Tirupur, Coimbatore, and Nilgiris. And Kerala was also belonged to this Chera Nadu. And the greatest rulers, their greatest rulers Imayavarambhan, Nedunjeralathan, and his son Senguttuvan. So, the main and the major part of Chera Nadu was surrounded by what? That is high mountains. High mountains. The next we are going to see is the Chera king Nedunjeralathan conquered up to the Himalayas and hoisted the flag, the symbol of bow and arrow. Okay, who reached up to the Himalayas? Nedunjeralathan. He hoisted the flag, the symbol of bow and arrow. Therefore, he was hailed with the title Imayavarambhan Nedunjeralathan. So, he was hailed with the title Imayavarambhan and Imayavarambhan Nedunjeralathan. The ruler Cheran Senguttuvan built the statue of Kannai. Children, we all know about the story of Kannai. He built a statue and also he built a temple for Kannai. The temple name is Mangala Devi Kannai. The temple of Kannai was built by a stone from the rod of Himalayas. The able ruler Cheran Sengotuvan erected the statue of Kannai. This temple of Kannai was built by the stones brought from the Himalayas after defeating the king Kanaga Vijaya. It is also said that these stones were brought to Cheranadu on the heads of the captive soldiers. This can be understood from the epic Silapadikaram written by Sengutuvan's brother Ilango Vadigal. Padirapattu helps to know about the Cheras kings during Sangam period. Children, Silapadikaram was written by Ilango Vadigal. Ilango Vadigal was the brother of Sengutuvan. Ilango Vadigal was the brother of Sengutuvan. Once again, this can be understood from the epic Silapadikaram written by Sengutuvan's brother Ilango Vadigal. Padirapattu helps to know about the Cheras kings during Sangam period. அதாவது சங்கம் பீரியடில் அவங்களோட சேரா கிங்ஸை பற்றி நம்ம தெரிஞ்சுக்கிறதுக்காக ரொம்ப ஹெல்ப்ஃபுல்லாக இருக்குது. தென் சேராஸ், we are going to see about Cheras, their rivers, their capitals and their flag and their part. The Cheras river is Poigai. Cheras lived along the river bank Poigai and their capital city is Vanchi. Their port is Tondi Mussoorie. Their flag is bow and arrow. Cheras flag is bow and arrow. Children, let us recap. In this session, we discussed about the Cheras. That is their kingdoms, where they rule, their capital city, their flag, their kings. We saw the greatest among the kings of the Cheranadu were Imayavaraman, Nedunchiraladan and his son Sengutuvan. Their capital city is Vanchi and they have the symbol of the flag is bow and arrow. They lived along the river bank Poigai and they built the Kannai temple. We get information about Chera kings from the epic Silapadikaram. It was written by Ilango Vadigal. So we saw about Cheras in this session. Next session we will see detailedly about the Cholas, Pandyas and Pallavas. Thank you, children.